Hello, greetings to you wherever you're watching it from. Welcome to my today's video. In today's class, we'll be looking at balancing of chemical equation. I found out that a lot of students still have challenges with balancing of chemical equation. So in this video, I'm going to give you a simple trick on how you can balance chemical equations successfully. Sometimes most of the challenges we have in balancing chemical equation is if we have a situation whereby the product given for a given reaction is not the right product. So for you to be able to balance chemical equations successfully, you should be able to write the right product for given reactant. The question becomes easier if the reaction is given to you and you are just meant to balance it. Just like in the case of those that will write JAM and also WIRE students. Though for the WIRE students, sometimes in your theory part of the questions, you may be given to write a balanced chemical equation for a given chemical reaction. So it's expected that you have to write the right reaction given the right product for the given reactant. So follow me carefully. After this video, you'll be able to balance your chemical equation successfully without more challenges. So let's go. Now, if you are given equation of the form so given this chemical reaction here, we have aluminum oxide reacting with tetroxylate 6 acid to give aluminum tetraoxosulfate plus water. We are meant to balance the equation. Now, we have to know that in balancing the reason why we have to balance chemical equation is because of the law of conservation of mass. So, which states that atom can neither be created nor destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. So, the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side must be equal to the number of atoms of the elements on the product side. Then, when it happens, that means the equation is what? Is properly balanced. So, if you look at this, we have 2 atoms of aluminum here, 2 atoms of aluminum here. So, the aluminum there seems balanced. We have oxygen, we have 3 here, we have 4 here, which is 7 on this side total. But coming to this place, this 3 is affecting everything in this bracket. So for this oxygen, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 it is 13. So having 7 here and having 13 here means that oxygen is not what? Balanced. Then for the sulfur we have 1 atom of sulfur here and 3 here. So it's not balanced. So coming to this side, we have 2 atoms of oxygen, hydrogen, and 2 atoms of hydrogen. Hydrogen seems to balance. So because of the sulfur and oxygen that are not balanced, then we need to balance the equation. Now, for you to balance, you need to check each of the elements that appear in the chemical equation and know which of them appears more. If you look at this reaction, there is oxygen here, there's oxygen here, there's oxygen here, there's oxygen here. So oxygen is present in every species in this reaction, which means it appears most. So for that reason, it will be the last element that we consider in the balancing. I will leave it first and balance the one that appears least. So you have to check for the one that appears least. Aluminum appears just here. Hydrogen here. Just once this side. Aluminum once here. Hydrogen once here. Then sulfur once here. You see, aluminum, sulfur, and hydrogen appears equally on both sides. So I can start with any of them. But considering the fact that aluminum is balanced here and hydrogen is balanced, so I will have to begin with what? With sulfur. So you can see that sulfur is 3 here, but it's only what? 1 here. Remember, anytime you are balancing chemical equation, you can only attach number in front of the in front of each compound. So like I said, since aluminum naturally is already balanced in this reaction now, then I will have to consider sulfur because sulfur is not balanced there. So sulfur is 3 here and is 1 here. So the only thing I can make this to become 3 is to attach 3 here. So sulfur is now 3 here and 3 here, and that balances sulfur. But you see that by attaching 3 here, it will alter the number of hydrogen. Remember, forget about oxygen first. Since oxygen is present everywhere, it will be the last one to balance after you have balanced others. So having balanced sulfur, we can see that by attaching these 3 here, we now have hydrogen become 6 on this side. So since it is 6, how will I balance it? Put 3 here so that 2 by 3 makes it 6. So we balance the hydrogen. Then we have again what is remaining? Oxygen. We have balanced aluminum 2 here, 2 here, hydrogen 6, 6, sulfur 3, 3. Then it's remaining oxygen. Before we balance, before we do anything, attach any number, let's check by these numbers we added now, if oxygen has been balanced. And if it doesn't balance, then we find a way to what? Fix it. So oxygen, this is 3 here, and we have here 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12, and 12 plus 3 is 15 on this side. Then let's come to this place. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 3, 15. So the equation is balanced. Are we good? All right. Now, what happens in this equation if I have reacting with oxygen? If you look at this, please remember, if you are the one writing the equation, always remember to write the right product for the reaction. Now, if you look at this, this is a base rather, a base reacting with an acid. Then it forms salt and water. That is neutralization. That when reaction between a base and acid to form was salt and water. So the hydrogen or aluminum here displaces hydrogen here to form this, while the hydrogen combines with this oxygen to form what? Water. Now look at this one. This is yes, this is methane. This methane, a hydrocarbon reacting with oxygen, is a combustion reaction. So you have to know that anytime a hydrocarbon reacts with oxygen or bonds in oxygen, it's going to produce carbon dioxide and water. Please, here, this reaction is, if this oxygen is in excess, when there is enough supply of oxygen, that is when this and this will be formed. But in a situation whereby there is an insufficient supply of oxygen, when there is an insufficient supply of oxygen, it's going to form carbon monoxide and water. So here we look at this is a case where there is enough oxygen to completely bond this. We have carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and water. Now let's balance. As usual, oxygen appears 1, 2, 3, 3 spots. 3 spots. 3 spots. Then carbon appears 1, 2, 2 spots. 2 spots. Then hydrogen 1, 2. That's 1, 1 on each side. So we can start with either balancing carbon or balancing hydrogen. But looking at this the way it is, carbon is already balanced on its own. Can you see that carbon is balanced? Yes, it is balanced. So what do I start with? Hydrogen. We can see that hydrogen is 4 here, but it's only 2 here. I will simply put 2 there. Remember, carbon balanced 1, 1. So for oxygen, there is 2 oxygen here, 2. And here we have 2 and 2 again, 4. So what do? We put 2 here to make it 4. And this balances the equation. Easy, right? Good. Now, what happens if I have this, the same similar hydrocarbon again, reacting with oxygen to form, let's say this time around, we have carbon monoxide and water. Carbon monoxide and water in this case now. So you see, in this reaction here, we have carbon is 2 here. It appeared once here on this side, once on this side. Hydrogen once on this side, once on this side as usual. Oxygen appears once here, twice here. So it will still be the last I will consider. So in order to balance this chemical reaction now, what do? We start with either carbon or hydrogen since they appeared 2 on both sides. Sorry, 1 on both sides. So let me start with the very first one, carbon. So I have 2 atoms of carbon here and I have 1 atom of carbon here. So I have to put 2 here. By adding 2 there, it has balanced this carbon. Then let's come to hydrogen. Hydrogen is 6 here. 6. And it is what? 2 here. So how will I balance? This is 2. I have to put 3 here. So it's balanced. We have 6. Then is remaining oxygen. Let's check if oxygen is balanced. We have 2 here for oxygen. Then what do we have here? We have 2 plus 3, 5. So it's not balanced. So what do we do? We have how many? Just 2 atoms of oxygen here, but we have 5 on this side. So how do we balance it? Now please pay attention. The easiest way to deal with this, since it is that this one is less than this, which means I need to multiply this oxygen by a certain number. To multiply this oxygen by a certain number that will make it to become 5, as this side is 5. Are you with me? We have 5 atoms of oxygen here, but there are 2 here. Now the question is, what number will I use to multiply this oxygen so that it will become 5? Why this one is also equal to 5? So what do? You simply put 5 over 2 here. So I have 5 over 2 here. So you can see that 5 over 2, the number of oxygen, atoms of oxygen is 5 over 2 times 2. And that is actually equal to what? 5. Making the number of oxygen here 5. And 1 here, 5. But what if we don't need this fraction? We don't want it to be in form of fraction. We want it to be everything whole number. We can remove this fraction. Since the denominator here is 2, to remove the fraction, multiply all of these by 2, each of them by 2. So if I multiply this by 2, it introduces 2 here. If I multiply this by 2, 2 will cancel this 2. If I have 2 times 5 over 2, this cancels. So leaving us here with 5. Are we making sense? Then if I multiply this by 2, it becomes 4. Then if I multiply this by 2, it becomes what? 6. By so doing, I've removed the fractional part. So with this now, we have 4 carbon here, 12 hydrogen, 2 times 6, 12. Then oxygen, 5 times 2, 10, 4, 6, 10. So the equation is balanced. Making sense, right? All right. Now try this and put your answer in the comment section. So balance this equation here and tell us the values of x, y, z, and w in the comment section. Please, if you're not following me yet, please click the follow button like, share. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube. I'm currently running a series teaching on the calculation in chemistry, the very calculation, every calculation aspect of chemistry. I'm running a series teaching in calculation aspect of chemistry, and also a series teaching emotion in physics. So subscribe to my YouTube channel to get full and simplified teaching on the calculation in chemistry and some serious teaching on physics. Thank you very much and God bless you. See you in my next video.